Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack, and today we're taking a look at all of these new Speed Champion sets. Specifically, these are the 7 new sets that came out on March 1st, 2016, and everything you see on the table here is part of these sets, except for these plate pieces that make up the racetrack and the bleachers. Out of the 7 sets, there came 10 cars, 3 sets containing 2 cars, and 4 sets containing 1. There's a lot of good designs with these cars, and overall I'm really happy with the turnout. I'm not going to do a total review of all the sets, of course, but I think I'm just going to showcase some of the differences between some of the features of the sets, talk about my favorite one, and I'm also going to talk about which of these builds are the most accurate compared to the real model of the car. I think I'm going to start off by talking about my favorite set, and this probably won't come as any surprise to some of you guys, but my favorite set is Ford F-150 Raptor and Ford Model A Hot Rod. I know this one was highly anticipated and for really good reason. Right off the bat, my favorite part is the uniqueness of both of the builds. It's pretty apparent how different they are when you put all these cars together. They stick out like a sore thumb, and that's a really good thing. I don't know anybody who doesn't like a hot rod, and this one here looks really nice. They got all the shapes and curves just right, and I do like that they have an alternate build for the engine. Nice touch. I gotta say I wasn't as excited about the truck, but the Ford F-150 here is undeniably a great build. You can see it's raised up and it looks really beefy. I like how the flatbed and the front kind of bulge out on the sides, and the working shock system really makes this thing feel rugged and truck-like. There's a lot of really great stuff that comes in the set as well, but I just finished doing a full review on the set actually, so I'm not gonna get into it anymore. It's a really awesome set. It wins on both build and creativity. But now I want to talk about how accurate they got these cars to look to their original model. And to make this comparison a little easier, I'm going to split them up into some categories. First of all, the truck and hot rod are both really great builds. They're pretty darn accurate in my book, but there aren't any other truck or hot rod builds to compare these guys to. So for the accuracy comparison, I'm only going to be talking about these 8. And within these 8, I'm going to split these up into 2 categories. First category are these hyper-modern race cars. I'm just calling them hyper-modern, but essentially these are the 4 really highly engineered race cars that you would probably never ever see actually driving around. So these 4 cars would be the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro, the Audi R8 LMS Ultra, and the 2 Porsches. We have the 919 Hybrid and the 917K. Right, so that's one category, and the last one would be these 4 muscle cars. 3 of them are the modern muscle cars. We've got the Ford GT, the 2016 Camaro, and the Chevrolet Corvette Z06. And in this category as well is the 1969 Camaro Z28. So those are the 4 muscle cars, but I'm going to start with these highly engineered race cars over here. Now aesthetically, I like the look of all of them, though the amount of stickers on these cars is insane. I think the Porsche 919 has the most with 31 stickers. It does slow down the build a little bit, and I know a lot of people aren't big fans of stickers, but I really do think that the look is enhanced by these stickers, especially for the 919 and the 917K. But this accuracy comparison will be focused on the actual build and not the quality of the stickers. And with that in mind, the first 2 I would knock out are the Porsche 919 and the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro. Both of these cars look pretty similar in real life, and because the proportions of these cars change so dramatically, their versions in Lego form don't really make the cut. Not that they're bad builds, but these cars were only meant to be 6 studs wide, so fitting in all these ups and downs in proportion to the actual car would be nearly impossible. So out of the remaining 2, we've got the Audi R8 LMS Ultra and the Porsche 917K. And when comparing the accuracy between these 2 cars, I'd say the Porsche 917K totally wins out over the Audi. I like that the Audi R8 LMS Ultra has this giant spoiler. I think that's very fitting to the build, and actually the body shape is pretty nice, but proportionately this Porsche K19 really does match up just about all the way. So yeah, I think the K19 is the most accurate looking, highly engineered race car here, but let's take a closer look at the muscle cars. And I have to say this one is a much tougher call. When comparing all 4 of the grills, I'd probably say the 1969 Z28 Camaro looks the most accurate, but I do like the look of the 2016 Camaro also, especially because they didn't use any stickers for the grille. And let's compare the side paneling. I really like that all 4 different sides are very distinct, and when you take a close look at the actual sides of all these cars, you can see how the designers made their choices. I'd say proportionally though, if we were speaking just on terms of accuracy, I'd say the top 2 most accurate side builds of the car are probably the Corvette Z06 and once again the 1969 Z28. And that's not really a design critique at all. In this case, it's really just how the Legos fit in at this scale. When comparing the back ends, I gotta say I'm not really impressed with the cars that are just sticker backs, especially with the Camaro 2016. They could have easily fit in some exhaust pipes where there are stickers. I'd have to say hands down the best rear portion of any of these cars is the 1969 Camaro. So I hope I'm not being too biased when I say the 1969 Z28 Camaro wins out here in accuracy. I really do like the design of all these muscle cars actually, and I think they look pretty awesome when they're all together. Okay, so I'm done talking about the cars for now. I'll get back to them in a second. There's a few other parts of the sets though that I think are really cool and I'd like to show them off. There's a lot of really great side accessories you can get in these sets, but these are the different side accessories you can get in the single car sets. There is a lap timer, TV camera, mobile fueling station, and this little victory stand with a trophy. Speaking of the trophies, these are all the different trophies you can get, and I do like that little golden car piece at the top. And let's take a look at all the different drivers you can get. Some pretty nice detailing all around, but I think my personal favorite is the Porsche K19 driver. We also get 3 flag-waving minifigs and 2 pit lane minifigs. Anyways, that seems to be just about everything I want to talk about for these Speed Champion sets. A quick recap. My favorite set is the Ford F-150 Raptor and the Ford Model A Hot Rod. I think they win out in creativity and really awesome build design. The 2 most proportionately accurate builds from the remaining 8 cars are the Porsche 917K and the Camaro 1969 Z28. And though the Porsche 919 doesn't look that accurate to the original model, I still think this is probably one of my favorite builds, even with all the stickers. So here's our racetrack with all this new stuff, and I don't know about you all watching, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna need a bigger table soon. Alright, so that's it for this episode. If anybody wants to buy these sets, we'll leave links in the video description below for you, and if you enjoy our content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.